Hey everyone, my name is Wedge and welcome back to our tournament review series. It's been a while since we've done these consistently, but get used to seeing them again for the next month or so. This tournament review is particularly interesting because we'll be covering the Star City Games Legacy Open that took place in New Jersey this past weekend. Yeah, Legacy, I know, people still play this format. I hope you enjoy, and if you like older formats being covered, please hit that like button. It lets us know what you want. Tom Keating won the day with punishing Obzan. Basically just another way of saying 4-color crazy stuff. The deck runs the infamous Grove of the Burn Willows and Punishing Fire combo as the name suggests. It also runs powerhouse control cards like Chalice of the Void, Liliana of the Veil, and Abrupt Decay. Now we've seen plenty of Black, Green, and Obzan legacy decks up to this point. Splashing red isn't unheard of, but it certainly isn't the norm. The addition of Green Sun Zenith, along with a search package of one of Scavenging Ooze, Gaddock Teeg, and Dryad Arbor is pretty sick. I have to say, this may be one of the most interesting legacy decks I've seen in a while. It runs Garruk Relentless on sideboard. That's how you know you're having a good time. Second and fourth place both went to Ant decks, better known as Storm, piloted by Caleb Scherer and Ross Miriam. Both decks won by bombarding their opponent with Tendrils of Agony copied a million times. Both strategies utilized classic Storm spells in Lion's Eye Diamond, Infernal Tutor, Past in Flames, and the Cheeky Ad Nauseam. The only real difference between the two decks, outside of the variations in mana bases, was the second place list chose to run a one of Reign of Filth and a second Dark Petition over the fourth place list. I think that's an important card to pay attention to. Out of Magic Origins, Dark Petition is seeing more and more consistent legacy play in these Storm decks. You don't often see a card penetrate that combo anymore. It's pretty sweet. The only other strategy with multiple copies in the top 8 was Miracles, taking down 3rd and 8th places respectively. Talking similarities first, since, both Christopher Stitson and Sam Rokas have probably played the deck before, they both chose to run their complete sets of Divining Top, Counterbalance, Terminus, and Swords to Plowshares. All expected. Miracles does have a solid shell at this point. There were a few interesting differences though. Chris's 3rd place list ran 2 Monastery Mentor in the main deck, a card Sam's 8th place list had relegated to the sideboard completely. Chris also chose to main deck Insane Blue Hate, running both Pyroblast and Red Elemental Blast as one-ofs. In the main deck, yeah. To run those, he took out Entreat the Angels completely. You could say Sam's list is a bit more stock because it still runs a pair of the Mass Angel spell in the main. It wouldn't be a Legacy Open without a deck that everyone hates to play against. Lands, run by Chris Anderson, took 5th place. If you haven't played against this deck before, you're a lucky person, just stay away. The deck runs 35 lands, the previously mentioned Punishing Fire / Grove of the Burn Willows combo, and a lot of cards that mess with lands. Life from the Loam, Crop Rotation, a one of Mana Bond, yeah, we're going real deep here. Anyways, the deck did what it always did, one with a Punishing Fire lock or the ridiculous Thespian Stage Dark Depths combo. If you copy the depths with the stage, you basically get a free 20/20 because the stage doesn't copy over the counters. It's a beautiful, terrifying thing. Need help getting that combo? Lands can afford to run Gamble because it doesn't care what it discards. This deck is real annoying, like the most annoying. I would say pack your Wastelands, but Life from the Loam, just so unfair. Moving right along, Max Williams cracked into the top 8 at number 6 with Elves. As far as top tier legacy decks are concerned, without the Gaia's Cradles, this deck is actually on the cheaper side. The spell package was relatively standard with playsets of Glimpse of Nature, Green Sun Zenith, and Natural Order making obvious appearances. Since the deck has to work a certain way, as in play a million Elves every turn, you won't see too much variation with the package. Playsets of Nettle Sentinel, Wirewood Symbiote, Kyrian Ranger, and 3 Heritage Druid. All expected. The one of Dwynen's Elite, that's an interesting include. It does give you an extra elf most of the time to basically sacrifice to your Symbiote to untap all the things, so that's pretty cool. All in all, the deck does what we're used to it doing. You play all the elves and then Craterhoof Behemoth. Yeah, it's brutality. Also, can I just say that I love how this deck sideboards a one of Rurik Thar the Unbowed. Yeah, I know, that's real, it's hilarious. The last deck we're looking at today is the 7th place list from Ryan Frainer, and it wouldn't be a legacy event without a Delver deck sneaking in there somehow. Grixis Delver this time around, another relatively stock list. Deathrite Shaman, the namesake Delver, Young Pyromancer, all in 4-ofs. 2 Gurmag Angler represent the most fair card in the deck. Spell package is also pretty much what you'd expect. Brainstorm, Lightning Bolt, Gataxian Probe, Ponder. This version is running 3 Stifle, which I like. Not that they weren't running Stifle before, but I've seen more and more Stifle in the past few months. Pretty interesting addition if you ask me. Anywho, you can imagine how the deck works. You play Delver, use your cantrips to rig the top of your deck so you have a 3/2 flyer on turn 2, then win the game by controlling the board. It's classic. I think it's also important to note that if you look at the next 8 results, basically the rest of the top 16, you'll see an additional 3 Miracles and 2 Grixis Delver decks. Those strategies have been doing really well lately. Seriously, in the top 32 of this event, there were 11 Miracles decks. 11! That's a lot, especially for a format with a relatively healthy metagame. Granted, it is expensive as all heck, but there are still plenty of competitive strategies. Anywho, let me know what you think about these results. Do you like Legacy? Would you like more Eternal coverage? Leave a comment below and tell me what you think. As always, subscribe for the latest and most reliable Magic the Gathering information you could ever need. This is the Mana Source. I'm Wedge. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time.
Wow.